Hi guys, Rant here today doing rant video on how bad some of the support is for the new Red Eyes and how upset I am that a lot of it doesn't work with the cards that could make it actually decent. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention in my last video that some of the sides are not complete, but some of the sides include Inferno Fire Blast and Red Eyes Burn and Ring of Destruction, just so you can kind of like Game 3, surprise your opponent and just burn the hell out of them rather than attacking, because they've probably started to destroy your monsters. But yeah, other than that. Okay, so let's start off with this. Fusion summon one monster that lists Red Eyes monster as material from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand, deck, or your side of the field as fusion materials. And if you do, the name becomes Red Eyes Dragon. You cannot normal or special summon other monsters the turn you activate this card. You can only activate one of these per turn. At least it says activate, not use. That's good. Becomes a Red Eyes Dragon. That's also good for Inferno Fire Blast because it gives you an FTK if you have one of them and 3 Inferno Fire Blasts. Downsides. You can't normal special summon, so all you can do is set and flip summon. That's kind of shit. Like, if it said except for Red Eyes monsters, it wouldn't be too bad. I'd be pretty happy with it. But that's a really big restriction. Like, what the fuck in the deck do you even, like, special summon? You could have said you cannot normal summon, you know, but, sorry, I mean, what in the deck do you set? Not special summon, you special summon heaps. What in the deck do you even set? Like, what, Keeper of the Dragon Shrine, maybe? Maybe Black Metal. It's not going to get you much. Again, and Black Metal, there's another one. Black Metal, absolutely great card, but it doesn't really work well. Like, it works okay. I wish it was 800, not 600. It would be so much better, and so much more viable, but, like, it's a great searcher, but you rely, a lot of times I found you rely on your opponent to get rid of your stuff to make use of it, and then you get set back. Yeah, the other problem about Red Eyes Fusion are there's 3 cards you can bring out with it, I believe, which are Beast Skull Dragon, Archfiend Black Skull Dragon, and Meteorite Dragon. Don't run Meteorite Dragon in your deck. Black Meteorite, I don't know, whatever. Running Meteorite Dragon in your deck is even worse brick than running Summoned Skulls. I don't really suggest that. The other thing is, Beast Skull Dragon says 1 Red Eyes and 1 Summoned Skull, so you can't use these at all. And if you're sending from your deck, you can't use these 2 from your deck. You must use Red Eyes Dragon and Summoned Skull, because this guy says 1 level 6 Archfiend normal monster and 1 Red Eyes normal monster. So in the deck, these are not normal monsters, they're effect monsters, so that's pretty shitty, pretty shy. They're all right in the grave, because you got Dragon's Shrine, Dragon's Mirror, and you can banish these from the grave for it, but this really has no synergy with the deck. You can't send it with the cards of Redstone, which is a big flaw. If cards of Redstone said 1 level 6 or 7, or 1 level 7 or lower, it'd be so much better. And it wouldn't mean I had to run like the Sacred Swords and the level 7 engine. I could actually run level 4s. I mean, that's not, these 2 aren't Red Eyes, so, you know. Yeah. And that guy's effect otherwise really good. I can't really complain about him too much. He's one of my favourite cards in the deck, to be honest. But that just limits you so much, and it also limits what you have to run in order to be able to use it, which is, again, the Summoned Skull and the B-Dragon, normal, vanilla. But in saying that, cards of Redstone also kind of limits what you run, because in order to run 3 and make it efficient, you kind of need to run Malefic Red Eyes as well, and Black Flare, and Red Eyes B-Dragon, because if you run only Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon and Red Eyes B-Dragon, you've only got 6 targets for cards of Redstone. It's not really enough to run it at 3 efficiently, especially when you've got no way of actually adding it to your hand other than Keeper of the Shrine with this one, or the other one, if they're destroyed by battle, or Sent to the Grave, and Keeper of Shrine specials and adds it back. But again, you can't really manually do that. And Black Metal Dragon. But that's, again, it's hard to actually pull that off without wasting resources, so it's not really worth your while to do so. And usually you'd probably want something else off Black Metal Dragon anyway, I found, unless you do have the dead cards of Redstone. So basically, in order to make it more consistent, I am running Malefic Red Eyes just to make it work, because Malefic Red Eyes is a 7 Red Eyes, and the only other level 7 Red Eyes I believe there is the Zombie Red Eyes, and you wouldn't be running that unless you want to run it at 3 and just have it purely as a discard or dump. A level 3 to use Dragon's Mirror at 3 to bring out the dragon monster that requires 2 zombies, but I mean, Super Alloy is better than that. But again, Super Alloy would actually be much better if you actually had the Archfiend of Lightning, but you can't really run that effectively because, again, Red Eyes Fusion doesn't send it from the deck to the grave, and there's not a lot of things that work well with it. It's as much a brick in your hand as Summon Skull half the time. It's not so bad in the grave, but hey, Summon Skull's not so bad in the grave either, because I can banish it out. And honestly, if I have a lot of other cards, you can't Dragons, Silver's Cry this, you can Red Eyes return that, but honestly I'd rather Red Eyes return a lot of other cards, or Red Eyes Spirit, like a Darkness Metal Dragon, which I'm not running, the Spirit. So yeah, I just kind of don't like that. This is really bad for the deck, and I don't run it, I've got it as a proxy at the moment, that's why it's upside down in the sleeve. As you can see me flicking up the sleeve. What else? Okay. Why the fuck is this card $50 in Australia? And $40, $45 in the States, and probably everywhere else. Relevant to whatever their cash stream is. This card, I don't understand the fanboyism of the deck, which is why cards are actually expensive in the deck, and everyone wants Blackstone the Legend because it looks awesome. But I don't know why people would run it at 3 and my battery's going to die. It's really not useful at 3. What, you normal summon Tribute, you can be effect negated so easily. Just to bring out a Red Eyes Black Dragon? It's not a Dragon Tuner level 1, otherwise if it was it'd be great. Cards Consonants, add back to hand, use Cards Consonants. It's not that. It doesn't really let you add things to hand. All it does is it adds itself back. Honestly, this card is a 1-card wonder, which gives you free discards every turn, as long as you shuffle one of these, or one of the other Red Eyes monsters in your grave back in your deck. One level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your grave, which is good because you could use that, but you don't run that. Or Wyvern, or, you know, a few other things, but unfortunately, yeah, you don't run them. But it is still very good to stack your deck. You put the normal Red Eyes back in, but again, I don't know why the fuck this is $50. I don't know why the fuck people run it at 3. Please explain to me why the fuck you'd actually run this card at 3. This card is so much better at 1, but they have fucked this up really hard because you can't use Cards Consonants and draw, which you really should be able to. 3 of them is useless because you can only use 1 effect per turn. And yeah, you can only use 1 effect per turn. At least if it was 1 of each, it'd be so much better, but because you could summon that, put it back in your hand, and get ready to use it again and again, over and over, but you can't, and it limits how good the card could have been and how much synergy the deck could have had. So yeah, as much as people like it, it's really not that great, and the deck has a lot of failed synergy and a lot of bricks you have to run just to make it run, and it kind of sucks. You can't summon basically except for flip and set for the rest of the turn. You can't send this, you can't run this, you got to run other cards. I don't know what they were thinking making some of these cards. Like, you have Necrons which do whatever the hell they want during their turn. Why can't this? It's not as good as Necrons, even if it could. I don't know. Run this card at 1, use its secondary effect more than its first effect, because its first effect's not that great, and you'll probably have a much better time playing the deck, unless you're a hardcore fanboy. No offense. Anyway, this has been my rant video on how annoyed I am with some of the synergies of this deck. If you like this video, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe. Comment down below what you think. If you disagree, if you think this is amazing at 3 or whatever, have a rant with me. I don't mind. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, and Dragon out before my video dies.